Okay, good morning to all of you. Today in this class, we are going to be discuss about length contraction and time dilation by using Lorentz transformation. In our last class, we have been discussed in detail about Lorentz transformation. Actually, Lorentz transformation is required. Lorentz transformation required when the particle or we can say the so-called frame of reference frame of reference is going to move is going to move with a velocity approximately velocity of the light. At that time we have to use Lorentz transformation instead of Galilean transformation. In detail we have been discussed in our last class. I suggest you all have to be follow the last video. So after the Lorentz transformation, we found that x dash will be gamma x minus vt, y dash will be equal to y, z dash will be equal to z, t dash will be equal to gamma into t minus vx by c square. This is our Lorentz transformation equations. Similarly, we found inverse Lorentz transformation equations are the x will be equal to x dash plus vt dash by 1 minus v square c square root over. Here I am going to show you the last expressions. X equal to x dash plus vt dash by 1 minus v square by c square root over, or we can say gamma into x dash plus vt dash, y dash equal to y or y equal to y dash, z equal to z dash, t equal to gamma into t dash plus v by c square into x dash. So these are called as inverse Lorentz transformation equations, and these are your Lorentz transformation equations. So here one thing I am going to be tell to you that the gamma is always greater than that of the 1. How it is? I am going to show you one example, simple example, that suppose we have to consider uh, the velocity is approximately velocity of c. The velocity is approximately velocity of c. So that velocity is approximately velocity of c. That means let consider v equal to 0.5 c. 0.5 c. Okay. Now gamma is nothing but 1 by 1 minus v square by c square to the power 1 by 2 or root over. Okay, so we have to put the values. See, 1 by 1 minus, instead of v square I can write 0.5 c square by c square root over. So is equal to 1 by 1 minus, here c square will be got cancel. 0.5 square is nothing but 0.25 root over. So here 1 by, it will be 0.75 root over. So it will be 1 by, so root over of 0.75 is approximately 0.27. So hence this will be equal to how much? 100 by 27. So that will be greater than 1. So gamma value is always greater than 1. Gamma value is always greater than 1. Hence only 1 minus v square by c square root over is always less than 1. But gamma is 1 by 1 minus v square by c square root over, but only 1 minus v square by c square root over is less than 1. These things you have to be just keep in your mind at the time of explanation of length contraction and time dilation it will be required. So let's start our today's discussion regarding length contraction. So before we have to discuss about length contraction, here I written the so-called Lorentz transformations, that is x dash equal to gamma into x minus vt, y dash is not going to be changed, y dash will be y, z dash will be z, t dash will be equal to gamma into t minus vx by c square. These equations you have to keep in your mind whenever we have to discuss length contraction. See, this x dash, y dash, z dash, t dash are the observations when the observer in another frame or s dash frame, we can say. So for that I am going to be give one example, that suppose this is one frame, this is your s frame, okay, this is your s frame, the observer is at origin. Another frame, suppose this is another frame s dash, which is moving with a velocity v, with respect to s frame, and the observer is standing at its origin o dash, and a rod, suppose a rod is be stationary in s dash frame having the length l. Suppose this is a rod and it is in stationary having the length is how much? Length is, suppose the length is, that is l or l0 we can write, because as this rod is stationary or it is in steady, or we can say it is at rest in s dash frame. In s dash frame the rod is at rest. Hence this observer is going to measure the length of this rod will be L0, which will be called as the proper length, or you can say the so-called actual length of the rod, because this rod is at rest or stationary with respect to s dash frame, or you can say in s dash frame this rod is in stationary or is at rest, okay. But as this s dash frame is moving towards positive x-axis direction with velocity v, this rod is not stationary for s frame. This rod is stationary for s dash frame, but as this frame is moving velocity with v with respect to s, hence this rod also not stationary or not rest for s frame, So according to Lorentz transformation, or you can say special theory of relativity, if this speed v is approximately c, then this observer, the observer who is at o, or you can say the observer in s frame, is going to be measure the length of the rod is less than that of the L0. Again I repeat, this observer is going to measure this length of the rod will be less than that of the L0. Suppose we are going to consider, suppose L0 equal to 5 centimeter. Suppose L0 is 5 centimeter. That means the proper length or the actual length of the rod which is measured by this observer is 5 centimeter. But the measurement from this frame of reference or the measurement by this observer of this rod is less than that of the L0. That means the observer who is in the frame of reference S, or who is sitting here, this person is going to be seems, or this person is going to be feel that or perceive that like the length of this rod is contracted. That means if this observer is going to measure the length of this rod, he will be measure less than that of the 5 centimeter, or this observer is going to be measure, suppose we can say 4 centimeter. This is nothing but called as the so-called length contraction. So in summary, I can say you, whenever a observer is at steady and the object is moving with respect to that observer with a velocity which is approximately velocity of c, then that observer is going to be measure the length seems to be contracted. This length is seems to be contracted. Okay, so that is nothing but called as our length contraction. But in same frame of reference, this length is your proper length, that is your L0, or actual length of that rod, which is measured by this observer. So whenever this observer is going to be measure this length of the rod, he will be measure less than that of the actual length, that is your 5 centimeter, and this person is going to measure that it will be 4 centimeter. This is the beauty of your special theory of relativity. So here I am going to be derive the mathematical derivations, how this observer is going to be measure this length is to be contracted as compared with its proper length by using these 4 equations, that is your Lorentz transformation. And here one thing we are going to be follow, that only x dash is going to be changed, y dash is not to be changed, z dash is not to be changed, and t dash will be this much. So by using these equations, the mathematical derivation we are going to be do. Okay, so here I am direct explaining the length contraction from this book, so you just follow this. The length, whatever I have been discussed, same thing it is written in this para. I am just reading and explaining, you just watch. The length of a body is measured to be greatest when it is rest relative to the observer, when it moves with the velocity v. Here v means approximately velocity of light relative to the observer. Here this observer means the observer who is sitting in S frame. Okay, who is sitting in S frame. So the length of the body is measured to be greatest, means larger, when it is rest relative to the observer. That means when it is rest, see this two frame of reference is going to be coincide, means both are at rest. So this observer is going to be measure the this length of the rod will be L0, but when it will move, then it will be seems to be contract, that it is written. Greatest when it is rest relative to the observer, when it moves with the velocity which is it is not written in the book, but you have to keep in your mind that with a velocity v means this v is approximately velocity of light relative to the observer. It measured length appears to be contracted in the direction of motion by the factor 1 minus v square by c square root over. Okay, whereas its dimensions perpendicular to the direction of motion are unaffected by we can consider the so-called Lorentz transformations. Y dash is unaffected, z dash is unaffected. So as we are considering the length, so t dash equation is not required for us for this explanation. So here you can see the figure that this is your steady state or stationary frame of reference. Another frame of reference, that is S dash, is moving with a velocity v. Here it is written as I cap v, means only along positive x-axis direction. And here O dash is the origin where the observer is sitting, and here another observer is sitting, and here AB is the rod which is placed in S dash frame, so the observer who is sitting here, he can measure the length of this rod is L0, but this observer is going to be measure this length will be reduced or contracted. How it is? See, I suggest that you just write up to this much, okay. From these lines you just write up to this much, and here the observer in bracket write in S frame, the observer who is in S frame, in bracket you write who is in S frame, okay. So now the figure number you have to change accordingly by your note. So you can write figure number 1, okay. So figure 1, that means here according to you, that is your figure 1, this will be the figure 1. Figure 1 shows a rod AB rest in S dash frame which moves with velocity v relative to S frame, whatever we have been discussed. Let x coordinate of ends of A and B of the rod be x dash, x1 dash and x2 dash. Suppose the x coordinate of A is x1 dash, x coordinate of the point B is x2 dash respectively, as measured by the stationary observer at the origin O dash. The observer who is sitting at O dash here, he measures the coordinate of A is x1 dash, coordinate of B is x2 dash, okay. The length of the rod as measured S dash frame will be how much? That will be L0 equal to x2 dash minus x1 dash, okay. Come to the next page. That L0 will be called as proper length, or we can say actual length of the rod, because in S dash frame the observer is measuring the length of the rod. So in S dash frame the observer is measuring, means the rod is rest for him, but this rod is moving for this observer, okay. So how much this observer is going to be measured, that is our discussion in this lecture, main topic in our discussion in this lecture. So the proper length of an object is the length measured by an observer at rest relative to the object. So here the observer who is sitting in S dash frame, for this observer this rod is stationary, okay, is at rest, that is written in this line. So let x coordinate of ends A and B of the rod when the simultaneously measured in S frame. Now we are discussing S frame. So the observer who is sitting here, he is measuring the length of this rod simultaneously. So at a particular time this person measure the rod of this length of this rod is x2 dash minus x1 dash. At that time this observer is measuring length of this rod will be how much? Will be x2 minus x1, because let the x coordinates of end points, that is x coordinate of A and x coordinate of B by the observer who is sitting in S frame be x1 and x2. So hence the length of the rod measured by observer who is sitting in S frame will be equal to L equal to x2 minus x1, okay. So the observer who is sitting in S frame he observed or he measured the length of the rod is x2 minus x1 because the end of the coordinate of B is x2, the end of the coordinate of A is x1. According to the observer who is sitting in S frame. Okay. Now, the relation between L0 and L, and here since the measurement are made in S frame simultaneously, so obviously T1 equal to T2, simultaneously measurement. So T1 equal to T2. At a particular time measurement means T1 equal to T2. A relation between L0 and L, here one thing I am going to be suggest you that here you put this is your equation number 1, okay, and this will be your equation number 2. This will be equation number 2. In book it is written as per the chapter number, so you put equation number 2. The relation between L0 and L can be determined in the following manner by using equations 14.25, 14.42b in equation 14.42a. That means we have to use our previous equations, that is Lorentz transformation equations, these equations, and we have to put in our equation number 2. In our equation number 2, in book it is written 14.42a, 14.42a. That means in this equation we have to put the values of x dash, y dash, z dash, okay, and we can get the answer. So L0 in equation number 1, if we are going to put L0 will be equal to, instead of x dash, here L0 equal to x2 dash minus x1 dash. So I can write L0 equal to, instead of x2, here x dash equal to gamma x minus Vt. So hence x2 dash will be equal to gamma x2 minus Vt. X2 minus Vt. Similarly, y dash will be y, z dash will be z. Okay, and x1 dash similarly you can write x1 dash will be equal to gamma into x1 minus Vt. So we have to put this equation. So L0 will be equal to gamma into x2 minus Vt2 minus gamma x1 minus Vt1. Okay. Here I written T and T, but actually same, because if you are going to write T2 and T1, and we saw that at a particular time it has been measured, so T1 equal to T2, T1 equal to T2, so no issue. So first we have to write as usual equation whatever previously we have. So instead of x2 dash we can write x2 minus Vt2 minus, instead of x1 dash we can write gamma into x1 minus Vt1. Okay, so by using Lorentz transformation equation for this equation number 1, we can write x2 dash will be equal to gamma into x2 minus Vt2 minus x1 dash as gamma into x1 minus Vt1. So now we have to solve. If we are going to solve this one, then T2 equal to T1. So here I am going to be solve for you. You just watch. L0 equal to gamma into x2 minus Vt2, and then minus, because L0 equal to x2 dash minus x1 dash, so gamma into x1 minus Vt1. Okay, so is equal to, this will be gamma x2 minus gamma Vt2, this will be minus gamma x1 plus gamma Vt1. So this will be equal to this because T2 equal to T1. So this two terms going to be cancelled out, and we found the so-called here, sorry, not L, this, yes, this will be L0, okay, correct. So now the L0 we found equal to how much? Gamma into x2 minus x1, right? So that implies here x2 minus x1 we have been considered as L. This is considered as L. So that implies L equal to L0 by gamma. L0 by gamma. So in our beginning of discussion, I told that gamma is always greater than that of the 1. So hence L will be less than that of the L0 because one of the factor which is greater than that of the 1 is going to be divided or in the denominator. So hence L is greater than less than that of the L0. So in this way we have been found that, or we have been perceived or understood that the observer who is sitting in S frame, he is the person is going to be observed that the proper length seems to be contracted, So here you can write that directly written that here I derived 2 to 3 steps, but in the book it is not written. So may you can derive or you can write directly, no problem. So L0 equal to this minus this equal to gamma into x2 minus x1 equal to gamma into L because T1 equal to T2. That implies L equal to L0 by gamma or L0 into 1 minus v square by c square root over. And we know that 1 minus v square by c square root over is less than 1. See, here I also told that gamma factor is always greater than 1. Gamma is always greater than 1. Gamma, that means 1 by 1 minus v square by c square greater than 1, or only 1 minus v square by c square root over less than 1. So here we found that L0 into 1 minus v square by c square root over. That means this term is less than 1. Hence L is less than that of the L0. L, it is wrongly written. It is wrongly written. You just write this one. L is less than that of the L0. This is mistakenly written that L is greater than that of the L0. This is should not be right. You have to write L is less than that of the L0. Okay. So in this way we found that the observer who is sitting in S frame, that person is going to be seems or going to be found that the length is seems to be contracted. Okay, and we know that there is no effect in x y dash y axis and z axis. So y dash will be y, z dash will be z, and L only x coordinate or length is changed. Okay, so in this transformation, in this discussion, we found only x coordinate is going to be changed, due to which we found the observer who is sitting here, he is the person is seems to be or found that the length of this rod is going to be contracted, seems to be contracted. This person is going to feel that this rod is going to be contracted. Okay, now we are going to take two examples, two simple examples, also somewhat interesting. You just watch. Suppose we have a square. Here I have to do means it will be better. Wait 1 second. Suppose we have a square in your S dash frame. Square, it is a square. Okay, it is a square in your S dash frame, and here S frame is rest with respect to S dash frame, and S dash frame is moving with the velocity v. Okay, so the person who is sitting in S dash frame, that person is going to be see that this is a square, but this person who is sitting in this S frame, this person is going to be see that this is a rectangle. Why? Because whenever this frame is going to be moved with a with a velocity v along positive x-axis direction, this x length or this length is seems to be contracted for this observer. This length is seems to be contracted for this observer. That means if this length is going to be contracted, that means it will be looks like this one. This vertical line is not going to be changed because y dash equal to y, but this length is going to be contracted. So this will be look like as a, the square will be look like as a rectangle for this observer. Okay, likewise, suppose we are going to consider a circle is at rest, is a circle is at rest in S dash frame, and the S frame observer is going to be, okay, suppose we are going to be consider a circle which is at rest in your S dash frame. Hence this observer is going to be visualize that this object is a circle, but this observer who is sitting in S frame, this person is going to be observed this is not a circle, this is a ellipse, because its x length is going to be contracted for this observer. If it will be contracted, it will looks like this one, like this. It looks like this because this length is contracted for this observer. So this observer is going to be found that this object is a circle, but this observer is going to be found this object is a ellipse. Here S dash frame is moving with the velocity v is approximately c. So this is two interesting facts can be observed when a frame of reference or a object, we can say a object is moving with a velocity that is approximately velocity of c, then the person who is sitting at a stationary frame of reference, that person is going to be observed the shape of this object is going to be changed. The square is going to be changed with a rectangle, and the circle is going to be seems to be changed. Seems is not, it is seems, it is feels that it is seems to be changed as a ellipse. So we have to be stop our class today here. Okay, here I am going to be explain from the book somewhat that you can write in your note perfectly. You draw this figure here. At in one figure he that it is represented the uh, this is your S frame and S dash frame. So I think it will be better that you have to draw these two figures. Okay, you just draw this two figure and you just write one or two lines that whenever S dash frame is moving with velocity of v is approximately c, then the person who is sitting in S frame, he is the person is going to be perceived as or going to be found that this object change its shape to square to rectangle. This much you have to write. Likewise, you have to write for this one, for this figure, that the person who is sitting in S dash frame, that person is going to be found that this object is a circle, but this person is going to be seems to be found that this object change its shape from circle to ellipse. Okay, this much you have to write, and here we have to stop our today's discussion. In next class we are going to be discuss about time dilation. So thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you.